bit of improv again, jamming along on the really old Telecaster that I've had for many years. A Ridgy-Dig 1968 or 71, between those years. It's kind of a parts caster, I believe. This guitar is very special to me. I've lived with it and toured with it in about 3 different countries so far. But all the parts on it, I've actually sat down and tried to date all the bits and pieces on it. And the keys dated to 65, the neck is dated 71, the knobs 67. I think what they must have done is they went into different barrels back in the pre-CBS days and pulled different parts out of different barrels from 65 to 71 and slapped it all together and put it out on the market in 1971, because that's what's dated on the inside of the neck. But whatever year it is, I kind of call it a 71. I think it was October 1971. It's printed on the inside of the neck. But either way, it's went through a couple modifications through the years. The original pickups were taken out and changed to EMG blues pickups at one point, and in the past year or two I've taken them out and I've now got some Blackguard 52 pickups in there, the HX, and they're the no hum pickups. They've got absolutely no buzz, no hum, and they're just a beautiful sounding pickup. And after having the fretboard done so last year, the year before, not long ago, and new frets put on it, it's still one of my favorite guitars of all the guitars I have. And you can't beat a Telecaster. I've always liked my Teles, and this one especially has treated me well for many years. But today I thought I was just jamming along just in the key of E. I do that in the loop station sometimes. I'll just pick one chord, sometimes 2 or 3 chords, and I'll just go through the cage system, or I pick a minor key, Aeolian, Dorian, whatever scale I feel like playing that day, and I'll just create a chord and I'll play along with it, and I'll just come up with as many different ideas as I could possibly come up with, and just let your mind run free and focus on your bends, vibrato, tone, and also just connecting different note patterns within that scale together, just to see how many different variations you can come up with, and just to create a little conversation, a little story, as if there's 2 guitars almost like talking to each other kind of thing. But I thought I'd leave my listeners with that for the night before I call it a night, because it's getting very late. It's been a long day at work. But I hope you enjoyed anyways. And in case you're wondering what I'm playing through tonight, I'm playing through a Fender Silverface Twin Reverb amp. It's probably one of my best amps. I've had that since I was 16 or 15. Can't remember now, long time. And it's still the cleanest, best sounding amp I think I've ever had. I bought it when I was 14, 15 for about $600, I think it was. And I've had it ever since. And they're worth quite a bit these days. Yes, and I'm going through a Boss Digital delay. I've got a dual overdrive by Boss, BD2. I think it's a BD2, and just playing around with different tones, and it does have a beautiful tone, not only for rock and crunch and fusion, but it's an amazing sounding guitar for doing jazz, because I had it when I went to university and majored in jazz back in the late 80s. Amazing jazz guitar, funk, blues, rock. You see Keith Richards, you see Jeff Beck. It's one of the most versatile guitars I reckon on the planet. So tonight it was looking pretty lonely, so I picked it up and I figured I'll give it a bit of a strum. But until the next time, we'll come back and we'll do a couple more little jam sessions. But yeah, pick a key. Sometimes I'll just put one chord in there and I'll just do E minor, and I'll just loop it, and I'll just go through the different cage systems where the E minor just sounds great from the bottom of the neck right up to the top. And I don't know if a lot of people know what the cage systems are. But, you can probably find them on the internet, but and you just keep going up all the way up to the top. And then you can throw in some aioli and some Dorian. Play around with different tonalities and just give it a bit of a different sound, you know? And play around with different stuff like that, sliding from halfway down the neck up and landing on that note you want. It's one thing that was very hard. Sometimes you overshoot the note, sometimes under, and you don't quite get it right on. I've found myself sitting down doing that for half an hour and hours at one point because it really annoyed me that I couldn't get it right on, but eventually it does come. And blues sounds really good. Anyways, that's enough noodling around for the night. Stay tuned, we'll be back tomorrow. I'll be sleeping in tomorrow, but I'll be getting up and probably jamming a lot tomorrow because tomorrow is my day off to sit here and shred again for a whole day. So we'll be back tomorrow and I'll show you one of my other guitars. I do have 3 Teles, this being the eldest. This is the grandfather of them all. We'll come back and we'll give the Kingfish, the Telecaster Deluxe, a bit of a run for its money tomorrow. And the Telecaster, the Nashville Tele that I just bought a couple years ago with the Strat pickup in the middle. It's quite a nice. It's the only guitar I have that's made in Mexico. I think I've got one other guitar that's made in Indonesia, and all the rest are all made in the USA. I've got a Marcus Miller bass that's made in Korea, I believe. Beautiful bass. The Sire, I think it was the V7. Beautiful bass. I'll even plug the bass in through my little Trace LED amp, and I'll show you what the bass, the Sire bass sounds like. But and I've got a couple Ernie Ball guitars. We'll go through them as well. I've got an old Ernie Ball I bought, the Axis Sport, which has the 2 P90s in it. I bought that in 2002. And that's a beautiful sounding rocking guitar on stage. I played that on stage many times. Anyways, I'm going to call it a night, and stay tuned. We'll talk to you soon. Bye for now.